We've just used the Shape Merge Compound object to project the 2D shape into the landscape to cut a new definition of polygons defining a road. However, it's exactly the same topology as the landscape itself, and it's not what we want. We would like the road to be flat and down at the same level as the lowest portion of our landscape. So in this case, it would be on the world XY grid plane. Continue from the previous lesson, or open the file Chapter 3, Road Deform 02.max if you're starting from this point. Go ahead and select the terrain. We're going to learn just how handy the name selection set tool really is. Then we're going to use a tool to align the selected polygons down to the world XY grid plane. However, if we did this normally, it would pull the polygons straight down and create very steep sides at the edges of our roadway. To fix that, we're going to learn a tool called Soft Selection to soften the edges of our roadway so that we do not have abrupt changes from the landscape to the road. The first thing we'll do is go to our subobject polygon level in the modifier stack. 3ds Max remembers that we already had these polygons selected, but to go through this exercise, click out an empty space to deselect the roadway polygons. Now, if we wanted to reselect the roadway polygons, we would probably have to go in there and pick every one of those polygons independently, and that can be a very time-consuming task. But we were smart enough to have created a name selection set. All we need to do now is go up to the main toolbar, click on the drop-down for the name selection set, and select the roadway name selection set. That will reselect all of the polygons for the roadway. Extremely good production tool. Using a name selection set can save a ton of time. Now again, if we move those polygons straight down to line up with our world XY grid, it will pull them absolutely straight down. All of the polygons will be acted on the same. The problem is that this is going to give us extremely steep walls on the side of our road going through the hills. This is where we'll learn to use soft selection. In the Modify panel, scroll to the Soft Selection rollout. If it's not open, open up the Soft Selection rollout. In the Soft Selection rollout, click the Use Soft Selection checkbox. Right now you won't see anything visibly in the viewport because of the soft selection settings. In the fall-off, which is how far away from the red selected polygons the soft selection will operate to, we want the fall-off to extend 100 feet. Highlight the fall-off value, type in, and enter 100 feet, then press Enter. Now you can see in the wireframe viewports what appears to be a multicolored band of polygons. What this is telling us is that the red polygons will be transformed 100%, the orange will be transformed a little less, all the way until it gets to the dark blue, which is not transformed at all. This is a soft selection that extends 100 feet out from the original selected geometry. Now that we have the selection set created and soft select active, we're going to use a tool called Grid Align. This will align the selected polygons with the currently active grid, which in our case is the world XY grid plane. Click on Grid Align, and you'll see that the polygons are transformed straight down onto the level of the grid surface. You'll notice that we have nice tapered sides that are caused by the soft selection. While we're here, and while we have these polygons selected, we want to change something called the Material ID. Each polygon in a 3D object has a Material ID assigned to it that can be associated with materials. All the polygons in this geometry are set to Material 1 by default. In the Modify panel, scroll the toolbar until you get to the Surface Properties rollout. In the Material ID option, we want to set the ID value to 2. We can either increment the spinner to 2 by clicking on it, or type in the value 2 in the Set ID type-in box and press Enter. Either way will work. I'm going to click on the spinner to increment the value. Now the polygons that are highlighted in red have a material ID number 2. Just a note, material IDs are not affected by soft selection. Material IDs only work on the actual selected polygons. We set this now so that later on the road can have a different material assigned to it than the landscape. This is a very important workflow. If you get this in at the proper point in your workflow, it will make life quite a bit easier as you get more into 3ds Max. Again, remember to exit the sub-object level. Press Ctrl+S to save the file.